So Sully has should have 9 experience points, right?
Yeah, that's right.
If you,
And
that's
I haven't spent
cruel
those.
of me not to make it an even 10, I guess.
Oh,
But
I'll live. I'm
yeah.
I'm mostly grown up.
But but so when we last left, you and uh, Adrian were escaping from
Yes.
Specularum. I'm just trying to remember the names of things that I personally gave them or remember from a lot of it. But okay, you were escaping from Secularum, and you had told him you wanted to make a stop at Castle Terror, just a
That is correct.
brief snack run.
Yeah.
Surely nothing can go wrong.
No,
Um,
quick visit. Just drop in, say hi, get out. Yeah.
and so we can go ahead and I forget you had like turned into like a carriage or something, right? Like he was riding and
Yes.
you like a
Yeah.
your blue spirit carriage. And so I think what would happen then is you would ride up, the little twisty road to Castle Terror,
Hmm.
and the gates would be like standing like wide open.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
as you drive in, like like there's just a pall of eerie silence over the courtyard of the castle that's suddenly broken by the sound of an agonized wail from within the keep of the castle.
Ooh.
And again, like the doors to the keep just seem to just stand gaping open and ajar.
Right. Um. I think. I mean, I'm gonna go into the courtyard and look around. Maybe if nothing stops me, stretch up to like some second story windows and peek in, and I'm gonna try to use detective work to get an idea of what's happening here because this is very different from what when I left. This
Yeah,
place
yeah,
was
yeah.
like totally in lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Go ahead and yeah, make your detective work roll.
All right. That is a success.
Success. Okay. Um, so you're looking around in windows. Well, first of all, you don't need detective work to know that the agonized wail you heard resolves into the something musical, and someone is scraping a bow across a decrepit violin and attempting to
Whoa.
play a mournful tune
Uh huh.
within the keep. But uh, so I think let's frame this as like but you quickly take a look around the courtyard, and I think what you do with your detective work is you can stretch all the way up to the tower,
Yeah.
and you can see that where that magical like barrier was, it's
Yeah.
gone, and just inside in the lab you see like just abandoned glassware knocked over, and like things, little tubes and vials
Whoa.
thrown around in haste, and like you can sort of like put two and two together and realize that someone like this place Bargle and his henchmen cleared out of this place very fast after something happened.
Uh huh.
And as you stretch down from there, you can probably take a peek into the clerestory, the upper story windows of the keep,
Yeah.
and you see like sitting on Bargle's throne is like Candide the Ghoul, mournfully playing his violin with like there's a fanged skull sitting on the arm of the chair next to it that he seems to be playing to.
Oh. And remind me, was Candide the named ghoul who I'd spoken to briefly last
Yeah,
time?
I think you did. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Well, where is the Marquis?
I guess he's still waiting out in the courtyard, and he, would probably have some sort of line like, I hope you don't plan to stay long in this haunted place."
Uh, no, only long enough to learn what I need. Um, keep that spear of yours handy. Ghouls can be a treacherous bunch, and they don't. In my experience, they don't honor guests right very consistently. Um, and I'll loosen the scimitar in my scabbard by way of example. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna tell the Marquis, stay close, stay alert, and we'll go up to the throne room.
Okay. Okay, and so you walk into the keep and proceed up to the throne room. There's definitely like eyes on you lurking in the shadows of the pillars and stuff. And Adrian is like, he's got his back to your back, and he's just like
Yeah.
very jumpy. And uh, Candide seems to see you both and looks up, and I don't. I think he probably just looks at you expectantly. I don't know if he knows what to say when he sees you here.
Uh, Good day, Candide. It seems as though you are moving up in the world. Last I saw you, you stood beside the throne, and now you sit upon it. My congratulations.
Mhm. He says, "Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way, but it is a lonely throne. It's just the other ghouls," and he holds up the skull. "Old master to keep me company. This is all that's left of him."
I love that. Um, I didn't mark you as a sentimental one, Candide, but it's touching to see your affection for your former master. Um, However, I'm interested in the shall we call him the temporary tenant of this place? You
New
know,
master.
new master. Yes, where is he gone? Do you know?
Uh, he says, "I, uh, yes." Um, I think he wants to tell this story, so I'll think
Yeah.
he'll sort of get warmed up and say, "They they were very pre." I got distracted by something.
No worries.
They were very preoccupied. He would say preoccupied. Now I'm getting into that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm getting into that mode where I'm trying to like deliver the dialogue. I've
Right.
had conversations with this about other people. Like it's better to just say what they say, uh,
Right.
without necessarily worrying about having the voice right.
And
But
I've got such a clear picture of Candide. I'll
okay,
translate it. Yeah.
okay. But he tells you that they New Master got really alarmed when the Demodans came back. He sent them out. Um, he sent them to get your lamp from some old lady's house, and they came back and told him that it was already gone and that the Order of the Silver Dagger had. And he got very, very alarmed at that news, and he said everyone must flee immediately. And he said they were going to the caves of chaos as a fallback plan, because they were, basically, between what he says and what you understand of the situation, you understand that Bargle apparently deduced or intuited or whatever that
Yeah.
if the order has the lamp, then they know everything,
Safe
and
bet.
they're gonna come to clean him out.
Yeah. Uh, Well, why didn't you follow him? You can't if Bargle the betrayer couldn't stand against the order. Will your people be able to survive here, Candide?
Uh, he he says they wouldn't. New master wouldn't take us with him, and we don't know any other place to go. If only we had a new master.
Um, one moment. Let quick conference with my traveling companion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian's like, no, no.
What do you know about the caves of chaos, Adrian? And I guess I could make like an intelligence roll to see if I
Oh
know
yeah,
anything
no way,
about them.
no way. He knows what they are. They're in the
Cool.
wildwoods. I yeah, I didn't
Ooh,
I didn't bother to add his little reaction panel in there, but yes, like I think when he mentions the caves of chaos, he says that's in the wildwoods. Okay, so he can tell you that
nice.
they're a trouble spot in the wildwoods where, like, long ago during the Black Eagle War, the Black Eagle Baron and Bargle had
Hmm.
hired several tribes of like orcs and goblins to work for them as mercenaries. And when the Black Eagle barony was defeated, some of them they sort of scattered to the four winds, but
Yeah,
some of them ended up lodged in these caves of chaos and have been sort of hanging out there ever since, which would be at this point at least a generation of
yeah.
orcs and goblins live there, so it's kind of their thing now.
I say it seems as though our interests cross yet again. Uh, Marquis, if Bargle is truly taken up residence there, then he's sure to be, stirring up the goblins and orcs there to some new mischief, and in your domain.
They Okay, and he says, yes, that just cements in my mind that I've got to get back to the wildwoods immediately and face whatever there may be to face.
Let me deal with this ghoul situation real fast, and we can be on our
Okay.
way.
Okay.
uh, I turn and say, Candide, there's a lovely bog pit several days away from here. I think your people would really flourish there. Um, but Adrian and I are going to go and scout it out first. And make sure it's really up to specifications for my new minions because I will I'll be I want to make sure that my new employees are happy.
Okay. He seems really excited. He says, yes, I can't wait.
I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here, Adrian.
All right.
Yeah, as much I might mention to Adrian as attractive as a monstrous army. Maybe I don't think the ghouls are clearly not to be
Yeah.
trusted. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be my skull on the throne. That Candide is fondling.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell Adrian like we can that was my detour. We can book it. Let's try to get to the Wildwood as quickly as possible so we can confront Bargle.
Okay. Just want to see something real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, Rodriguez.
Oh no.
Mhm.
I think I
Okay.
overheard a name that I don't want to
Yeah,
to
yeah.
meet. Yeah.
Well, just that
Yeah.
as you leave, like the keep, like the crusade, the Order Silver Dagger Crusade, led by Rodriguez, is coming up the pass
Oh
towards you.
shit.
Uh, not, I think you could probably evade. Like, let's say it's not like you see them before they see you type thing, but just curious what you would.
Yeah. So we'll I think whichever one of us sees them first, like kind of tackles the other into the grass, so we're low, and points them out. Um, and I don't want to take the. They could be coming after Bargle and Castle Terror, but I don't want to take the risk that they're coming after me. Like I don't know what's going on back in the city or the marquee. So I think what I would like to do is try to use stealth and like get away without them seeing and without leaving a trail. And then
Okay.
hopefully if they're going to the castle, they'll be delayed there for a while.
Yeah. And so Adrian will also use stealth,
Nice.
which he has, and
Ooh, that's a success. I've been very lucky today.
okay. Adrian failed his stealth,
Nice.
so
Okay.
I think. Well, let's just we can frame them. We can frame this as you can get away without him, or you can hang in the situation with him. He's he's going to be stuck. Okay, so
Yeah.
what it would sort of look like is you're sort of like sneaking away in the grass, and like the paladins on their steeds charge into Castle Terror, and like it's clear that I think Roderica is there too, and she does a sweep
Uh huh.
with her Pegasus, and she spots Adrian
Shit. I mean, I'm not leaving him,
and sort of swoops down. Okay,
but I will stay within stealth and try to get, some surprise on her.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think she lands. She sort of lands in front of him, and he like takes a defensive stance, and she says, "So we meet again. What could you be doing in this horrible place? And for that matter, what has happened here? Because we had certain information that Bargle the betrayer was here, but now the place appears abandoned." And I think Adrian's response, playing with myself. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm no worries. Gotta
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know anything about
right.
it. He says, "I
Yeah, he's just trying to get home. I mean,
yeah, 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 yeah. I think he'll say." I'm looking at his situations. Okay, there we go.
nice.
He'll just say I am the Marquis of Wildwoods, and I owe you no explanation for my comings and goings.
So arrogant. I love him.
Yeah. And you know, she'll say, "Marquis, you may be, but you stand accused of treason, and you must return to Specularum to answer for yourself." Is any are either of these people going to back down, or are we in a fight? Yeah, let's have a fight. It's
Oh,
time for fighting.
excellent.
Time for fighting. Okay. Um, she whips out her glowing hammer and shield, and they. I think it's sort of like the old. He's got his shield and his spear, and they sort of start circling each other. Dueling
Yes.
style.
And in terms of terrain, like, are we kind of on? Like, I'm kind of picturing like flat prairie, around the castle.
Um, I think it would be more like, yeah, you're probably on like a flat top of a precipice.
Cool.
Like you
Okay.
would be, you're on some little plateau that's like attached to, like, so someone could get themselves backed up against the
Yeah.
the mountain wall where the castle is up there,
Mhm.
or they could get backed up against the edge of a steep drop, right?
Oh, I
So
love it.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of, and yeah, let's say it's like just to give ourselves some room, let's say it's like 5 or 6 hexes in each
Nice.
direction.
Okay, cool.
But you're like, yeah, you're still hiding in some like bushes, or maybe there's like a little patch of scrub with like these bushes with like bright blue flowers blooming
Yes.
everywhere.
Oh, I love that.
So you're like in there as another blue
Yes.
flower bush. Okay.
That's excellent.
What am I looking up here? Okay. Okay, I need this table, and
Oh,
let's just do, well, Roderica will lead with a presence attack, I think, even
oh no.
before just out of out of well, combat has already started, but
Yeah.
like on phase one. Okay, so phases. I have to look upstream. Okay, let me. Oh no, did I not make a final decision about what his speed is? Oh, there it is. Okay, he's speeding. Yeah, yeah, he's really fast. Uh, so she's gonna, like, as she circles him, she's gonna say like this will be like phase one where no one's going, right.
Okay, cool.
it doesn't have to be this way, Adrian. Your aunt still cares about you. There are people who will see to it that you're well treated. And but I think it's got a big disadvantage because of, yeah, okay, so -2 to 6.
And if you want me to roll one side, let me know.
You can roll for Adrian's 3d6, I guess.
Okay. I've got 2.
Okay, she has 4, so I think that's a 2 core. So he's very impressed. We'll consider the content series. So he's clearly having doubts,
Yeah.
and he's going to lose half a phase of his action next time he acts, which will
Nice.
be, oh, let's go find the old speed chart again. Myself read. Where did I post the speed chart in our, oh, there it is. Okay. No, this is just with Sully and Vargle. All right. This is the generic
Yeah,
speed chart.
that was the one I was looking at just because it
Okay.
has Sully's phases.
Oh yeah, here's the one I posted for you. I just need to update that.
Cool.
Actually, tell you what, if you want to like pause the recording, or, well, no, that would break continuity, but or that would make you have to edit. But I really want to just update that document
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
with
I could
everyone's
always
voices.
cut. Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, all right. Dex. Okay, so this is yeah, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, it's two. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's how. Yeah.
And then I don't, if you don't mind, could you send me like a screenshot of that, or I could
Yeah,
open up like a Google Docs link on my phone too.
yeah, no problem.
Sweet.
Okay, so this one's pretty easy. Let's just... That's interesting. The interaction between speed 6 particles not here, but the interaction between speed 6 and speed 7 is kind of interesting because they're in step, and then speed 7 gets off step
Mhm.
to accommodate at their extra phase, and so you end up with this kind of like weird interaction. Anyway, okay, so let's copy paste this, and you made a good choice getting on Adrian's side because he's the best one.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. All right.
I mean, he's got a dragon skull shield, so
Yeah, that's right.
can't beat that.
Where is your...
Okay, cool.
Is this the final East? Okay, yeah. So I thought I had all of him on one page, like all of these calculations I did for his elemental control for his
Oh,
hunting
right.
weapons are all over. But okay, I found the actual final one. All right. So all right, so phase one. Okay, she did that presence attack, and
Mhm.
he's gonna only have a half phase next time he goes. He will so on his phase two, he'll go first, then you'll go first, then Rodriga. But
Okay.
he is gonna he reaches into a pouch on his belt, and he pulls out a like clay globe and hurls it at her, saying
Nice.
this chemical concoction will make you think twice about this fight.
Nice.
Uh, and let's see, so Jack, together. She will. Uh, she dodged this. No, I think she goes ahead and dodges this. It's been a while since I've had to resolve all the different maneuvers. Okay, so she'll be
Yeah.
in +3 defense. And 15, 13.
Okay.
He's an 11. Okay. So, okay, she successfully dodges. So the sort of like the clay ball travels past her and like explodes into like a flash of smoke and like sulfur flare behind her.
Nice.
Uh, but she does lose her action this round.
Hmm.
So it'll just be you going this round,
Yeah, and she's moving.
or this phase, I should say.
Right. So,
And she does move 2 spaces with her dodge, but 2 hits.
okay, cool.
Should mark that. I'll roll her. Yeah. Okay. So she moves 2 hexes away from you
Okay.
based on pure luck.
Okay, nice. Okay, so Sully, I think Sully is going to attack and, have a speech bubble at the same time. So I'm gonna burst out of this bush, and I'm using stretching, so I'm getting kind of just visually. I don't think that there's like a mechanical effect to it necessarily, but I'm kind of getting like wider, like a pile driver. I've got both of my fists out,
Right.
and I'm actually gonna try. Since I've got surprise, I'm gonna try for a move through attack. So
Okay, nice.
yeah, just try to like knock her backwards against, potentially if there's knockback, probably try to like ping her off of the cliff wall,
Okay.
and I'm shouting, the Adrian will not be returning with you to be, to be locked up like some beast. Uh and yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. So that gives me a base of 9 for my attack value.
Okay. I think one of the results of combat luck on one core is someone's covert participation in the situation is now evident. So I may just retroactively give her
Okay.
the disadvantage. So I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna say the luck result is that she sort of gets a hint of you coming
Oh
behind her,
shit.
and
Yeah.
so you're not gonna like knock her off the cliff. You
Uh
could
huh.
knock her into the wall
Okay.
for
Cool.
damage, but she's not
Um.
gonna just go off the cliff. But
And
anyway,
yeah.
so where were we at?
How
So you've
much of
got
a
to move.
bonus are you thinking for the surprise?
Yeah, let's go ahead and check what are the usual.
Anything on 180? Anything from +1 to +3 for a surprise.
So I'll call it +1 for this particular situation.
Nice.
Uh,
Makes sense with the luck. Yeah.
yeah, and so you're doing a move through, so
Yes.
that'll be -3. The net -3.
Right.
But your dex is pretty good. Your dex is 13, right?
Hmm.
And hers is 12, so you're at +1, so net -2. So
Under 10.
you still need an 11. You need an 11. You need an 11 on the dice. So
Okay. All right.
little better than 50/50.
Nice. I will take it. Ooh, that is a hit.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did we factor in her dodge because that's still active? Her dodge bonus.
Oh, right. I didn't, but it
It would
feels
still hit because I got an 8, which I think would be my
okay. Yeah,
target.
that's fine.
Yeah, cool.
That's fine. Well, no need to make a decision. I was going to say probably not because that
With
would
the
be a little much
surprise.
to ask of the luck roll.
Right.
But okay, so you moved like say 4 hexes, so +2d6 damage
Nice. So
to your
that's
strength,
it's going to be
and
66.
right, and spend your I guess endurance for strength plus the hexes moved.
Yeah.
66 damage.
Okay. For knockout, I've got 27. And for core, I've got 8.
Okay, and so
Yes.
roll the knockback.
Just a 1.
Just one knockback. Okay, so that doesn't. So she doesn't hit the wall. So
Nice.
she goes tumbling. She goes tumbling over, but sort of lands in the cool hero crouch, and
Yeah.
her armor's dented, but she's still fighting.
Nice.
She says, "Why does this have?" Okay, there I am. Uh, and so she'll say, "I should have known." She'll say.
Of course. And I guess
Uh,
I mean I would like to I mean I guess with that shouting, maybe I'm making a presence attack on the marquee to try to like get his head in the game here. I don't know,
okay.
maybe.
Um, if you want to, I think he's already recovered from the effects of the presence attack.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he's okay for that, and it's unlikely there's going to be a lot of presence attacking. Anyway, on phase 3, uh, Adrian goes again because he is fast,
Cool.
and this time be lame to throw a globe again. But he still doesn't seem to want to actually go in with his spear against Roderica. So he'll
Mhm.
whip out his spider silk bola and throw a bowl at her.
Nice.
Try to
Okay.
wrap her up while she's on the ground.
Cool.
Uh, and I think whether she dodges or she's going to lose a turn, whether she dodges this or gets wrapped up in it and has to get out. So I think she is going to dodge again. She's pretty much on the defensive. Probably shouldn't be fighting two people
Oh, nice.
by
Okay.
herself. So she's going to dodge again. So we're going to be at the same odds as before. But this time Adrian is going to get the uh the bola to hit,
Cool.
and it's going to wrap her up with cords of spider silk. And let's write the body for this thing. Four body, three, yeah. Pretty good. And she dodged, so she is going to lose her next turn. So on four, you'll go, and then Rodrigo will have lost that turn. But I don't think. Well, I guess technically she still has a dodge bonus up, but she's also entangled, so she has a
Right.
like base combat value of something like 5,
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's
think it's
very low.
6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so
Cool.
your phase 4.
Yes. So I uh walk up my my scimitar sweeps out, and I put it against her throat and say um yield and let us be on our way. And I think I'm gonna try to like
Okay.
bluff that I'm gonna kill her if she doesn't.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead and presence attack.
Yeah. Oh, this is not good.
Well, you've got all the cards in the situation. Uh, in combat, you're not at a disadvantage. You get a -1. Uh, to the power, so straight presence. Violent action. I'll give you 2 for that. She's in a pretty bad situation, so I'll give you net +4 dice. I think
Ooh, okay.
because this is a situation where you kind of have all the cards.
Right.
You know
Yeah, I
what will
wasn't
happen.
sure if she was just gonna, burst the spider silk and like punch me off the cliff. I don't know what she's got.
Yeah.
All right, I have 7.
Uh, I actually have an 8, so she doesn't need the tool. However, uh, she is going to say, "Oh." So she's going to say, "Go then on your merry way. Specularum has no more need for you. Ferdinand already died for your sake, and without you there, hopefully no one else will have to." She'll presence attack you.
Yeah, yes, she will. And I'm imagining she gets a big bonus for draw. I mean, I don't know much about the backstory with Ferdinand, but that's I have no idea. That's shocking.
Well, I mean, I assume you're shocked by it. It is still combat technically,
Right.
so I'll drop her one, but I'll go ahead and give her 2 dice for the Ferdinand soliloquy. Uh, or one for the soliloquy and one for surprising you with the information.
Nice.
Uh, so go ahead and roll.
I have 3.
Okay, she's 7.
Ooh. All
So that
right.
is a 4. That is on kind to comply. However, briefly, you lose any held action in the next phase and drop equals to 6 until the beginning of
That's
the turn after
awesome.
that.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Uh,
And
hmm.
my scimitar is just like dropping to my side, and like I'm kind of wilting, with uh, just like what do you
Okay.
mean, just like totally gobsmacked. Yeah,
That all happened on
that was phase
4,
4.
but
Yeah,
she had to abort that action to dodge. This is also
right.
good. So Adrian does have
Adrian's.
another.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he was affected by presence attack. So um, I think Adrian is going to uh, run forward and fireman's carry you over. Try to fireman's carry you over his shoulder and say, "Come on, we're not giving up on this now. You're gonna get me out of here." All right. Are you gonna
Okay.
resist? Are you resisting him at all, or I don't think you can actually.
No, I've lost my.
Your
Yeah.
defense is 6 against him too. So
Yep. That's
like,
excellent. Oh,
okay,
that's so good. That's exactly how it works in comics.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was his 5, and then he has a 6 to again try to do some fancy footwork.
Nice.
So I think he's going to try to break line of sight
Okay.
and maybe do some stealth. But that means that he's got a dex roll to do to try to. I think he's gonna like see like the ravine down there. He's gonna try to like
Mhm.
skid down the
Nice.
ravine
Yeah.
and run up to the valley to try to get behind some boulders and find some cover. So make a dex roll. Yeah, he makes it.
Sweet.
And Rodrigo will have to break out of the entangle, so he'll get a chance to do a stealth roll.
Nice.
Uh, I'm actually let me just see if she does break out of the entangle. This is actually
If we've got 2 phases, yeah, that'd be great if we got an extra phase here.
yeah, I don't think she's gonna get out of it in one phase. So I think yeah, I think Adrian's gonna just fade into the mountains with you.
Nice.
And so we're sort of gonna see, yeah, she's eventually gonna call for help for you know, some of the paladins and, you know, while her speech bubble is coming in from off the panel, Adrian is like has found like,
Yes.
aha, perhaps this cave was once a bear or wolf's lair, and perhaps it is still. Either way, it's our way out. And so he
And I imagine wrestling bears is just his Saturday night. He
yeah,
probably, yeah.
it kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, so I think at least by the time we're in the cave, I might still be leaning against him for a couple of steps right before I kind of get my wits back about me. And I asked did you understand? Because he'd known he'd been the one to tell me that that was Ferdinand's dagger back in his study. So I say,
You're thinking of. I think you're conflating two different characters.
oh no,
Uh,
Ferdinand is the servant.
yes,
Oh, uh, I say I hope you're yeah, I was thinking it was the Order of the Silver the Paladin whose dagger Bargle had
yeah.
given me.
There
Um
are a lot of similar fusty old-fashioned names.
yeah. Uh no, thanks for that. I hope uh I hope you're ready to get back to the Wildwood because I have harsh words to give to Bargle and especially the Demodans.
He says nothing would please me more than to take action.
Will Do you think Roderica and the Silver Dagger will continue their crusade into your realm, or is it protected?
I He says I have no. Ultimately, if the kingdom decides they want to rise against me, I have no way to stand against their collected will. I not really sure what I guess as you travel through the bear tunnels, you can
Yeah,
be talking about that. So you can sort of talk through what he thinks he's doing, which is pretty dangerous. He'll say, "I'm I'm not sure what choice I have now." He'll start to tell you. Actually, he'll start to
yeah.
tell you about Nessa,
Okay.
or
And
he'll say,
I'm imagining, like the long
he'll come.
Cerebus sequences where they're just like walking through like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
fantastic places. So I mean, like at some point Sully is lifting a giant like bear skull, and
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So he'll say, many years ago, uh, my wife was killed by a green dragon, the dragon whose skin I now wear. I took solace in hunting and in slaying the terrible beasts that roam the wild woods to make it, thinking that I would make it safer for my people. But this did not fill the emptiness in my heart, you know. But then there came her. As you know, the Alphatian merchants and Alphatian officials who were coming down to Karameikos to pass through and trade with the islands in the southern seas, come pass through the wildwoods, and when they reach my lands, they enjoy the hospitality of my castle, the keep on the borderlands. D&D riff.
Oh, I got it.
One day, well, I won't do this in voice again. So he's describing the Alphatians. He had noticed the Alphatians were very curious about his relationship and with the rest of Karameikos, and many Alphatians sort of made overtures towards him that were he recognized as kind of trying to gather information, or
Hmm.
maybe spy on him, and he said he sort of usually just rebuffed them and sent them on their way until you know uh, the wizard Mercurius came to visit me, and a he had many curious servants with him, creatures of flame, creatures of earth and air, but it was the woman of water, Nessa, that captivated my heart.
Oh,
And so he sort of fell in love with this water elemental Nessa, but he soon found that this was all kind of part of a plot to ensnare him.
oh,
And she told him that she was, or no, let's just get the basic details
yeah,
down. So she is sort of exists at the whim of Mercurius, right?
right.
He can send her back to the elemental plane of water at any time. And so she had he had commanded her to seduce Adrian, but then she fell in love with
Mm-hmm.
him, and then sort of they both got caught in the web of Mercurius, and that's where this plot to came from, where Mercurius is basically
Wow.
blackmailing Adrian with Nessa, to saying that he can stay with her as long as he gets him this information on Specularum's defense
Yeah.
that they want, and so he can sort of talk about like Mercurius has told him, or Nessa has told him, that like the Alphatias ultimately wants Karameikos in its empire one way or another, by
Sure.
diplomacy or by conquest. They've had this long-standing war with Thyatis, the other imperial power, that is sort of in the southeastern region of this whole continental situation. And
Hmm.
so, like, the idea is, if they get a hold of Karameikos, they'll slowly like box out, Thyatis into their very limited region of influence and prevent them from being able to, impact the rest of the continent.
Right. And so is Mercurius is he an Alphatian or is he a
Yeah. So
Karamaikan who has turned coat? Okay.
no, he is an Alphatian. He's like I didn't give. He's some sort of official. I didn't
Yeah.
come up with his title yet, but he's
Oh, my
he's kind of it.
is he the wizard who was with Roderica when I was being
No,
interrogated?
no, that's Oraculus.
That's okay, cool.
That
Sorry.
is
The US ending
Rolo.
got me. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, "Oh
Always a
my god,
slightly
this
good.
this whole, plot just got blown wide
Yeah, no,
open." Okay.
yeah,
Well, that
no,
makes
sorry.
it more difficult. Okay, so I say, well, first off, while he's talking, I mean, he's hitting both of my situations so hard, right? Like
Yeah,
losing love, recovering
yeah,
it, finding it again. So, I'm just thinking, these mortals have such, within their brief span, it's as though they can regrow, a lost limb.
right,
It's wondrous. They can recover so quickly. And uh, I'm just thinking, the whole love story is totally getting me. And I tell him, Marquis, if you are able to, help me reach the caves of chaos and conclude my business with Bargle, I think, we'll be able to settle this. Is basically because all they have, at least as far as things stand, it seems like all they have is kind of my word. He hasn't taken concrete steps toward treachery yet. He didn't guide anybody to the art. So
right,
I'm basically gonna tell him, I think we might be able to work this out, that all of the blame falls on me. We can play it like you were manipulated by me. Roderica, hasn't had a chance to sit down with you and really give you information. And I say, if you can help me, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you can, return to the Wildwood in peace, and maybe, maybe even build a life with this, this Nessa that you're in love with.
Okay. And he'll say is that would settle everything except for the hold that Mercurius has over Nessa. She is brought into this world by his magic, and he can take her away just as easily. Is there nothing to be done?
Perhaps. Um, well, why don't we deal with one wizard at a time?
Okay.
I'm sure that if we put our heads together, we can think up something.
All right. All right. And so you continue. You continue. Eventually, you do get to the. So
Okay,
you
cool.
do get out of the mountains and sort of travel over land to the wildwoods. And so here you'll let me think about.
Yeah.
This is one of those like time passes in a vague way, and so what's
Yep.
everyone doing now? Um,
And I don't know if there's a role to like get there ahead of the crusade. If they've beaten it out of out of Candide, they might be on their way. I don't know.
well, yeah, yeah, I don't know if Candide's even alive.
Poor
uh,
guy.
we'll see. Maybe he survived just so I can use it. But good at hiding, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, it's possible that the paladins didn't even find the ghouls. They just like hid in all of their holes, and they're like, "Forget this. We're just gonna
Yeah.
hide until this blows over." That would
I
make a
imagine
lot of sense.
individually ghouls are weak, but if you're fighting, on your knees in a 2 foot tall tunnel and there are 20 of
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
like you don't want to. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're quite a bit more fierce.
yeah. So let's think about what might be happening. Well, I think when they get back to Specularum, like the exact matter of what to do about Adrian is still going to be delicate, and the Alphatian ambassador is still there, and they're sort of, this is sort of like all of the stuff that's going on. Like, while your character is off panel, they're
Right.
like in some conference room trying to figure out like this is a very delicate situation. We
Yeah.
can't let on that we know the Alphatian ambassador's up to anything because we don't want to just get trapped into a war with him. But
Yeah.
so they're probably, let's say they'll be like walking on eggshells while he's still there, and kind
Hmm.
of like so that'll give you some time to get away, and they'll try to figure out how to deal with Adrian after the official diplomatic mission is over. And so, meanwhile, while that's happening in Specularum, you will you enter. Oh, I should have taken a picture of this. You will enter the wild woods along the forest road and travel up all the way through it. Through these sort of deep, tangled forests. But like when you reach the forest road, like Adrian's like rangers come out to meet him,
Ooh,
and they're all riding like dire wolves, and they're
hell
each one
yes.
more grizzled than the last, with like beast tooth necklaces and beast skull hats, and
Yes.
that's and so you ride together to the keep on the borderlands, which is at the top.
Should I roll unusual looks to see what they think of
Oh
me?
yeah, actually that's a good idea. Yeah,
Cool.
let's go ahead and do it.
I just unusual looks is so fun. I always want to roll it as much as possible. That is, and who's the spooky guy in the cloak,
Yeah,
Marquis? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh dang, no, it does not trigger.
Oh, okay. Clearly they're clearly they're used to
Yeah.
they're used to spooky guys in clips. They are spooky guys in cloaks. Uh, so the keep itself is like on the way up, almost all the way on the other side
Oh,
of the forest.
I'm sorry.
So
When I see, I'm gonna pull my cloak over. And, when I bring it back up, I've got a big beard, blue beard. Like I gotta blend in with these guys. Sorry. Okay.
fair enough. Yeah. And so like you go up this winding, there's sort of like this like standing, I don't know, mesa or little outcrop because the forest is up against like the wall of the mountains, the Altentepes mountains. And so you
Okay.
kind of go up this little out, this little hill or cliff that's kind of standing out by itself in the middle of the trees. And at the top of it, the keep is like sitting there. There's art of it online, but it's
Cool.
sitting above the tree line and this like sort of rugged, yellow stone keep. And you ride in, and in the courtyard, there's just all of this bustle as people are like they're like these big frames where like the skins of bears and dire wolves and like the scaly hides of poison drakes are being stretched and dried, and there's like a rack with giant scorpion tails hanging with their poison dripping into pots, on the ground, and then just like baskets of mushrooms of all sorts of crazy varieties being dried and sorted. And so this is this sort of like vibe of this like hunter's castle where all of these, you know, animal parts are being rendered into, useful forms. And that's kind of like
Nice.
his whole thing. And that's what his powers are actually based on.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So just these different strange forest poisons and mushrooms and things. But he and so he sort of welcomes you to the keep on the borderlands, and you can sort of set up here and enjoy the hospitality.
I mean,
Uh,
I might be
and
a
I
little worried about that. I might say like, I hope. I'm pointing, at the venom. As I hope that's not. I hope that's not the wine you drink here. And thinking back, to that very civilized study that we had sat in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
He says, no, of course not. There's I've laid away quite a cellar of Alsatian wine over the years. That's
Excellent.
the one good thing about this. Well, not the one good thing. One of the two good things about this whole situation. And the other, of course, is Nessa. And so he'll introduce you to this,
Oh,
the water elemental woman who is
yeah,
blue and transparent and, undulating and, graceful. And she clearly has no need to roll unusual looks for her.
yeah.
Uh, you know,
Oh, I'm sweeping off my hat. Giving the deepest
yep.
bow, kissing her hand. It's an honor to meet her.
Yeah. And she
And I
says,
just
how
say, I've
lovely.
heard so much about you from the Marquis.
Okay. And she says, how lovely to meet you. You can go ahead and make a perception roll.
Okay. I've got an success.
So I think you can sort of see, like you sit down at the fireplace. Well, a little far away from the fireplace. She sits far away from the
Right,
fireplace and
right.
figures sweater. But um, and you pours wine for everyone. I like to imagine the wine dissolving into her.
Yes, yeah.
But more importantly, like you sort of just get the vibe of the situation, and you can sort of see them like genuinely dote on her, and her like
Oh,
asking
yeah,
asking him with deep concern. You can see her deep concern about what's going on with him, but also just feel like he's trying to reassure her, but there's this sort of like genuine fear in her voice, and she's sort of it feels like she's living on the knife edge of the situation, and she's
yeah.
just genuinely afraid of what's going to become of her and of them.
And I mean, I hate
And
to confirm her fears, but I think I'll probably mention, we're not only up against dark wizards, but zealots who have no love for creatures from the nether regions. Yeah, so she's like, if the silver dagger gets a hold of her, I don't imagine them being very merciful after the treatment I
Yeah.
experienced. Yeah, I mean, if Oraculus hadn't been there, it seemed like it was going to be
Yeah.
torture and banishment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. And so she implores you to do anything you can to help. If you've come this far, I hope that you find it in yourself to help us in any way you can. Uh,
Oh, I mean, I think I'm saying yes. As much as I want to
yeah.
go and kick the Demodan's asses and get my mortality back and rush back to Vlana. I mean, I can't. Again, they're hitting all of my psychological
Yeah.
situations, and so I might
Yeah.
rather regretfully say, until this is over, lady, my scimitars are yours. They're at your
Okay.
command, and I'll be very gallant and theatrical about it.
Okay. And I think Adrian will say, you are of otherworldly substance. Do you know anything about the chains that a magician holds over his elemental servant? Is there a way they can be broken?
I mean, I did spend a lot of time around Bargle. Could I try to make like a detective roll? See,
You
detective
could
work roll?
actually, I think you could actually make a security systems roll. I mean,
Oh,
it's the
yeah,
same.
same,
It's the same
but yeah,
stat.
that is a success.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right. Now I have to come up with the details. but
No, I
the
love that though because it's kind of an apparatus, that's a
yeah,
magical apparatus. Yeah.
yeah. I think maybe you can kind of like hold up a some sort of weird little prism or something and like view the mystical force lines or something, mystical puppet strings, and you can sort of like see, so like this connection passing through the astral plane, and stretching, it would stretch far in the distance to the capital of Alphasia,
Wow.
where some, how did I build this power? So some sort of like, this is like a special effects special
Yeah.
effects
Oh
fail. I
yeah.
have to fill in the blanks really quickly. uh
Yeah. Oh, and no
what does he
rush.
what
I
does
know
he
you've
actually
got
do?
like, yeah.
It's kind of like the whole thing, like he makes a circle and they appear out of the air. It's like,
Yeah.
but uh I think you can sort of like, okay, you can sort of like sense like the mystical runes of binding circle him invisibly in the astral plane, and so there's a way to capture them and then sort of like take them take them for yourself, or give them, give the rune, like she'll always be dependent on this
I mean, yeah.
thing on
That's
a thing to keep her
Yep.
bound to the material plane. This, you could like capture the astral rune of binding in like a earthly crystal or something, but she'll always need to have that crystal with her. But that's how you think you would do it. So, but you would have to get close to him to do it.
Okay. So this isn't something I could do. Like, it's not a ritual we could do here remotely.
Right? Yeah. No.
Okay. And I'm imagining, I'm rummaging around in my lamp. That's where, like, I come up with the prism, to demonstrate and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
okay.
mean,
So
we're
I
pretty
mean,
much in the realm of like raw, wacky special effects here because this is not
right.
like
I mean, I do have.
whatever you think you can come up with. Like, feel free to
I mean,
feel free to.
I was thinking I do have 30 points of variable power pool to play with. To kind of come up with this, and a success on the roll, so kind of understanding the principles involved. Um, yeah, I mean, I wonder. Sorry, one sec. I have a power in mind. I just need to remember the exact term for it. I mean, I could see, um, a negation, where the core, reduces a maintained or persistent power, or
Yeah,
a
that
or a
that makes a lot of
weaken,
sense.
like draining like will away from the wizard. Either way.
Yeah, I think I like the doing it as negate. Let me look at that.
Yeah.
Where is let's see negate. Range of stuff. One comes increases the current effect. That's good. What else were you thinking we can? Oh, sort of like to target his ego or something like that
Yeah.
to prevent him from being able to control. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Let's let that ride for now. You
Uh-huh.
can
Yeah.
think about what seems to make sense. Those are both good like starting points for getting something. What would it like? Well, like
Yeah.
what would we imagine it as being in the
Yeah.
fictional world? Like, what would this be?
I'm thinking.
Like, if there was to be a scene where
Right.
you describe the plan, like, and it's supposed to be word.
Yeah. So I'm imagining, like, maybe I'm rigging up, that images projector from earlier, but tuning it to show the runes on the astral plane, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then having, like, maybe like a crystal that opens up and closes, and we'd have to, like, kind of try to snag the rune, and then if we could get it away, we'd have to find some way to bind it. It would be in kind of an
Yeah.
unstable form. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's pretty straightforward, and I think Adrian will say, but we have to surely we'll have to do it when he's not expecting us, so he can't dismiss her before we pull the job off.
um as
Will be
mighty.
difficult.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sully's not, as mighty as he may be, uh, you know, if he has your spear, and a lot of poisoned ranger's arrows coming his way, I think we could probably keep him occupied.
All right.
Yeah, and you know, so and I'm loving this. I know some of it is like hypothetical, but I mean, I think at a certain point, you know, Sully will drain his drain his glass and say, you know, I need to. I don't know about you, Marquis, but I need to turn in. Could we? You know, if you have no objections, you know, I plan on making my way to the Caves of Chaos, you know, first thing tomorrow.
Uh, he says, very well, and I'll come with you. That's the least I can do.
I appreciate it. Um, and then you know, Nessa, a pleasure to have met you. You know, I hope that we can, I hope we can find a solution, you know, to this situation. And then, yeah, I'll ask them, you know, for some out of the way corner to put my lamp and, you know, go to
Okay,
sleep.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.